What's happening this weekend? Loveable.dev is doing free coding, and I'm going to run you through a process. I'm going to do a live build to show you how I'm going to build a debt monitoring, debt reduction goal application. I'm going to jam for at least an hour, so the edited version of this may be shorter or longer. The purpose of this is to document the process I use to approach building a new application with Loveable.dev. I built 2 web apps in the last 2 months. It is an incredible tool, and let's go ahead and dive in. So if you don't know of what Loveable.dev is, let's go ahead and hop on over to Loveable.dev. And this is what we call a vibe coding tool. It is an incredible tool, and it has been absolutely game changing for me in supplementing my development efforts. It's been insane. So let's jump in. You can see this weekend that Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI are being promoted here. Loveable has teamed up with these LLM companies, and they're giving us free resources. Let's go ahead and jump into this right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of show you a little bit about the Loveable interface here. And you can go to Loveable, set up a free account, and just start your project. It's insane. Like, you can drop in one prompt and it'll take it, depending on how big your prompt is, you can generate an app within like 5 minutes. It may process 5-ish minutes to do all of the code for you, develop the pages for you, fix errors for you, and get you up and running. So let's jump in. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually jam in with ChatGPT, and I'm going to just talk to it about the idea for the project that I want to develop here. Rather than burning credits and message limits on Loveable, I'm going to get a really good idea of what I'm looking for here, features I'm looking for, and then I'm going to have it create a prompt. So let's go ahead and jump into that right now. So I'm using a microphone extension called voice and speech to text. I use this tool rather than the native voice tools in ChatGPT because it allows me to actually access my clipboard and my keyboard while I'm talking to ChatGPT if there's anything I want to feed it. So maybe I copy something from my clipboard and I want to say, hey, check this out, paste. Awesome. Now that you have that, let's go ahead and do X, Y, Z. Hey, ChatGPT, we're going to do a brainstorm on creating a debt-free path map application. So the idea here is that the end game is that you're going to create a prompt that I can copy and paste into Loveable.dev to build this web application for me. Here's what I need. Here's what I'd love to see happen, right? So I log into the dashboard. I am able to, actually, I'm not even going to do a login right now. I'm just going to keep the URL private. I'll add user later if I want. Right now, here's what I need. I need to be able to add in the debt that I have. So what's the debt? What type of debt is it? Is it a credit card debt? Is it a mortgage? Is it personal loan? Whatever. So we got to figure out the categories of the debt. Right now, we're just going to work on personal finances. So this is all going to be personal debt. We need to enter in the balance, the current balance of that debt, and the interest rate for that debt. Then I want to be able to, so we got to add the minimum monthly required for each. And I suppose using like a Dave Ramsey snowball effect approach, be able to say, hey, based on the debts that I have and the interest rates that I have, what's a good strategic plan to optimize for the quickest reduction of debt? So if, let's say, I have a debt that is higher interest but lower balance, I probably would want to pay that one off first, take the monthly payment that I was using for that debt, not spend it, and apply that monthly amount to the next debt of importance, right? And then I want to be able to see the projection of when each debt would be cleared based on the snowball effect, missing no appointments, continually rolling each monthly payment recovered from a debt cleared into the next debt of priority, while of course also maintaining the payments required for each debt. It would be awesome to see a bit of a it would be awesome to see a percentage of debt paid. It would be awesome to see a total of debt money out. So how much per month is going out towards debts. It would also be great to have a color code scheme to show, how far along are you in paying off your debt? Not a bright red, but maybe a maroon. We don't want to be angry and fearful here, but a reddish tone to maybe like a yellowish tone to a green tone paid off, something like that. I would love to start with that framework. I also want to be able to add in the monthly due date for each debt. So when is each debt due? Every month. And essentially have a way to see the debts cleared and how much, I suppose, recovered or personal revenue or personal income has been recovered through paying down these debts. Before you begin the prompt, please let me know your overview thoughts on this and any questions you may have for me. Thank you. So you can see that I just did a total brain dump. I talked to it like a real human being. I am documenting. I'm not creating here. So this is me in real time working with my tool. Cool. Overview of the debt-free path map. Cool app. Input their debts, debt name, type. Cool. Current balance, interest rate, minimum monthly due date. Okay. Use strategic payoff plan. Snowball method. Pay smallest debt first, then roll payment into next. Cool. Possibly consider avalanche method. Pay highest interest first as a toggle later. Cool. See, it even picked up the avalanche method. I'm not a Dave Ramsey expert. I'm just familiar with the general idea. Project timeline. Showing each debt will be paid off based on current inputs. Include percentage of total debt paid. Calculate and display total monthly debt payments. Cool. Track and display total monthly cash recovered. What was going out to paid off debts. Perfect. Visual and UX features. Color coded progress. Maroon, yellow, green. Active, paid off. Projected timeline, monthly cash flow, and recovered funds. Questions before the prompt creation. Okay, to lock this down, I need a few clarifications. Snowball versus avalanche. Are we going strictly with the snowball method, small balance first, or do you want to toggle the option that allows the avalanche method, the highest interest rate first? Yeah. Here's a tip on Loveable that I've noticed so far. This right here is going to be, I was talking to a developer on LinkedIn, and he was saying how tier 1 in Loveable and other vibe coding apps, you're good. Like that's like minimum viable, proof of concept. Like it's kind of like the standard first version. Tier 2, like you're adding more features and kind of getting more advanced and asking it to go back into something that you've already kind of tweaked and edited and looks good. Like, hey, now can you add this? Does okay. Third level, like you've got like kind of V2 done. You've been working in it for a bit. It's working great. But now you're like, let's do this. That's where it tends to hiccup. So I'm going to get in front of it right now and say, yep, let's go ahead and build in the avalanche component right now. Because then it's not this massive sort of database hierarchical change that we're going to have to do later and likely break a bunch of shit and have a lot of banging against the wall stuff happening. So this is great that I picked up on this, and this is exactly why I prompt in ChatGPT before I go into Loveable. Okay, so for this right here, I'm going to say, yep, let's add the toggle. Yep, let's add the toggle for this. Cool. Income entry. Do you want users to enter their monthly income and see how much is left after debt payments? Or is this just focused on debt payments for now? This is just, okay. We're going to just type it, just focus on debt payments for now. That's it. Cool. Extra payment handling. Will users be able to input extra payments beyond the minimums to accelerate payment? Okay. Extra payment handling equals yes. Great idea. This is why I prompted ChatGPT first. Currency and localization. Assume USD. Sorry, anyone who is not in the US or managing their money that way. Maybe later I'll build it. Mobile first. Do you want me to specify this should be mobile responsive on the go? Yes. Needs must be mobile responsive. One. Great. And naming. Are you going with debt-free path in the map? Name suggestions. Don't love that name at all. Okay, cool. So there's that. I like it. Talks to me. Input and manage debts. Toggle repayment strategy. Extra payments. Visual UX. Cool. Name suggestions. Zero bound. Perfect. Zero bound. Zero bound is great. Zero bound. Okay, let's recap and then we'll go next step. Awesome. We can add login later. That's not too bad for Loveable to do. It's pretty good at that from what I found. Cool. That looked awesome. Strategy toggle. Cool. Extra payments. Cool. Outputs is all looking... I don't love maroon. Give me 3 hex codes that are light red options. So I'm going to copy this because might as well just nail this right now. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that color. Let's see what else we got here. Cool. Go into this. Go into this one. No, that's loading. We'll grab this one. Cool. So that one, or that one. I like this one. This one. Sure. All right, cool. Let's recap. Zero bound. Awesome. Happy Saturday. Not that it matters. You're watching a replay. This is awesome. All right, cool. Looking great. Okay, think carefully now. For me, please. Is there anything you're missing in your recap / summary of this before you write the prompt? Yes or no? Good question. Have them be able to set a custom start date. I think that works great. Or what are your thoughts? Like, what is the most realistic to code without breaking and also gives us the best possible result? Yeah, let's give them the option to start now or select a custom date, and that's good. And then go ahead and give me the full recap, please. Thank you. All right. Let's see how we're doing here. Zero bound. Final recap. Cool. Yep. Cool. This looks great. All right, so we just jammed, we planned, so we iterated. That was maybe 20 minutes? I don't know when I started this. 15, 20 minutes. How long have I been recording here? 19 minutes. So 19 minutes, killer. Awesome. Great. Now, carefully, thoughtfully, with precision and excellence, write me a super clear prompt that I can just copy and paste into Loveable.dev. Excellent. Now, thoughtfully, carefully, with excellence and pure attention to detail, craft an expert prompt that I can copy and paste into Loveable.dev so that it gets us all the way there in terms of development for a V1 with your big, beautiful prompt. Thank you. Work carefully. This is important to me. Work this step by step. And be sure to follow the entire plan for this app. Thank you. Not pig beautiful, big beautiful. All right, awesome. Let's see what we get here for a prompt. Looking pretty cool. This is killer. All right, let's take a look here. Build a mobile responsive single page app called Zero Bound with no login required. Let me copy this. Let me drop this into a doc quick so I can read it. It would be good to read. Oh, hey, by the way, I promise you this is not intentional, but hey, we're going to use it. If you want to join my AI and automation marketing funnels accelerator program, hit me up. Link in description. I'll put a copy in there. Cool. Let's go new document. Software funnel up and running in, not your software funnel. Get your funnel up and running in 90 minutes with AI. That's the promise. All right, awesome. Let's take a look at this. So build a mobile responsive single page web app called Zero Bound with no login required. Okay, I'm just going to scan this. You can skip or maybe I'll edit. We'll see. I'm going to pause. All right, let's jam on this because right here I'm noticing like the user there should probably be a place in here where the user can tell the system, hey, I made this payment this month, right? Or maybe we just leave it so it assumes that. Let me ask chat here. Hey, this is looking pretty good. Thank you for a great first draft of this. My question to you is the following. Hey, my question for you is the following. Great first draft, by the way. For this section, you see why I use voice and speech to text? I was able to like talk to it and then drop in a direct reference piece from the output. And then now I can comment back to it. Should the user go in, I don't know, like each month or each day or whenever it is that they're going to access, it should probably be every day that they're looking at it, actually input like actual amount paid? Or is the system going to assume it? You see what I'm saying? Like, should there be a place in here where I almost feel like a gamification component of this is like, hey, I went in here. Yes, I made my payment. Here's how much I paid. And then see the balance, right, of each debt, if that makes sense. Like, don't redo everything. I'm just asking you, like, should the user be going in when the payment is made towards the debt and enter that amount in and then see a reflected result? Let's see what happens here. Which one? I actually like this one much better. Like, recommendation. Let's see what it says here. Manual payments, gamified interactive, user logs can. Cool. Awesome. I actually kind of like this one better, honestly. Hope I'm recording. Am I recording? Yep. Awesome. Again, we're doing a V1 and a V2, and I can tell you from my experience that this most likely, trying to add this in later, like in a phase 2, will likely cause it to seizure a bit. So that said, I think I'm going to actually have it gamify it right now. I like this one. I actually like this response better because it's coming up with cool ideas. This feels to me more like what I want the app to actually feel like. So I'm actually kind of going with this one. So I'm going to go, I prefer this response. Okay. okay, I like this idea, but here's the thing is that I don't want to try to add this big, huge feature later because it's likely to cause Lovable to have a slight seizure and break shit. So let's build this into V1 right now. Okay, so this, I'm going to fold in the gamification payoff tracker now. I love it. I love the toast notifications. We're going to add in confetti, upon like debt payment or whatever. Cool. Let's go ahead and have you redraft the plan. Okay, give me the plan first, the recap. From there, we're going to do the prompt. Just give me the plan and the recap first. Thank you. Very helpful to think long term, think ahead. Like, okay, what do I want in the app? Like, I want to be able to like put in the amount, hit a button, and like see confetti on the screen. That's cool. Like that. Yes, as a child at heart, I like to see things in games. Gamification is a very powerful tool. I'll use it on my KPI dashboard. And every time I book a call, anytime I cash collect, I see confetti on the screen. It's a great dopamine hit. Engineer that for yourself. Okay, so zero bound, cool. Debt entry fields, payment strategy settings, gamified monthly payment tracker, cool. Awesome. Cool, perfect. Gamification features, confetti, awesome. You just paid off a debt, cool. You're ahead of schedule, awesome. Oh, yeah. Okay. Optional progress, streak counter. Great. I love this. And I'm going to check these colors here. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys use Spotify DJX? I'm listening to DJX right now. And like, sometimes he just freaking nails it. Like, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he does. And today, he's nailing it. All right. Let's take a look. This is really just like a recorded live, to be honest. Green, yellow. Yeah, those colors look fine. That's a little pukey, but whatever. It's fine. Percent of total debt paid, data storage. Okay, cool. Great. So this is going to be in data storage in Supabase. Awesome. This looks fantastic. Data storage is going to have to be stored in Supabase. So please just make sure you make a mention of that in the prompt. Let's go ahead and draft me a incredibly detailed, thorough prompt that leaves nothing out from our latest final plan and recap. So what I do is, since this conversation is getting kind of long, I wanted to make sure that I kind of reference exactly like what it called it up here, so it doesn't have to guess. It's just, the more specific you can be, I can be in my communication with this thing, the less wall head banging I get. That's it. Cool. I'm actually going to customize this to get rid of it because I don't need student loan debt. Somehow my debts were forgiven. Wow. Like, that's great. Okay, I'm going to copy this. Sorry, I'm daydreaming. Cool. I'm not sorry. That's how I roll. Build a mobile responsive web application called Zero Bound that helps users track, manage, and pay off their personal debts. I'm going to pause here. 31 and a half minutes in. Not too shabby. I do also want to point out like how it knew to use Markdown. And why do you think it used Markdown? Because it loves Markdown. So it created a prompt that it knows it'll love using Markdown. Use Markdown in your prompts. Like, it's so valuable for big prompts, right? If you're just having a chat with ChatGPT, whatever. But if you're prompting, like you're engineering a prompt, Markdown. Isn't that just sweet? Should be warm, encouraging, and celebratory. No fear, shame, or pressure-based design in the gaming effect. Awesome. This I don't like. And so here's the deal. In doing it in a Google document and reviewing it right now, I'm saving message credits later, right? So, cool. Then from here, I'm going to call it out on this. Sorry, I didn't realize I was paused here. I'm going to call it out on this right here. It's like, why did you add this? Cool. Why did you add this? Please explain why 3 to 10. Good catch, and thanks for asking. Realistic usage range. Most users dealing with personal data typically fall into this range. 6 to 10. Less common usually. Okay, cool. Don't optimize for 1 or 2 debts. Make sure the app doesn't lag break. Okay, cool. Perfect. Preempt AI oversimplification. Perfect. Yep. MVP stability. Okay. This is actually really, really good. So it preempt AI oversimplification. Okay. Is there anything we need to add here to prompt Loveable to make sure we get all of the features and functionality and design without overcomplicating it? See what we get here. What's already excellent in the prompt: functional completeness. Okay. What we could add optional, not overkill. Specify monthly interest compound formulas. Nope. I'm not getting in any of this. Nope. That's getting too detailed. That's taking away the actual creative coding of Loveable. I think we're ready to go here. So let's go ahead and take this prompt. I'm going to take this prompt right here. Zero bound. Love it. Cool. Control A, Control C. And we're going to go ahead and hop into Loveable. This is where it gets fun. And we're going to go Loveable. We're going to do create new product. My Loveable workspace. View all. My Loveable. Yay. View all. Why can I not add a new? Just a second here. Are they not letting me add a new project because it's free dev day? Give me a second here. So what's awesome is like you don't put it down here, you just put it in this big giant box that's like right in your face. So this is where we're going to drop our prompt. Dude, we got it. Perfect. Choose your AI. We're going to go with Anthropic for sure is what I've been working on. I've been using Loveable. Let's see what happens here. Let's go with Anthropic and let's go ahead and kick this out. Here we go. Sit back, have some coffee, watch the AI do the work. This is why they call it vibe coding. I got my tunes going. I got my dog chilling under the workspace behind me. Loveable's doing the work here. This is great. I didn't have 38 hours to jam on this project. This is just fantastic. Let's see what kind of results we get with Anthropic. I've only ever used the Loveable. I don't know what they're using behind the engine there. My guess is they probably have some kind of a wrapper. My feeling is that they're using Claude, Anthropic. I don't know. Do you guys know what they're using? I'm going to go ahead and pause. I'll let you know when this thing actually starts kicking out. Actually, can I see the code view here? Can I go dev mode? Nope, starting live preview. Oh, boom. So we can see right here inside of dev mode, these are all of the pages that it already just like set up for me already. Fantastic. It's still working. This is great. This part, when you drop in the initial prompt, takes a minute. Or 5. Or 6. I'm going to pause. I'm going to come back when I have more to show. When it starts kind of like kicking up the screen and refreshing, I'll turn it back on. Still going. Let me see here. It's 10:28. What's it been going like 2 minutes? Let's just say I started like 10:25. And here we are. I was just in 10:32. I was just sending a LinkedIn DM. Cool. Strategy. Oh my God. This is extra monthly payment. Oh, I see. Cool. Tracker. Cool. Dashboard. I'm going to pause and come back to this in a second. Okay. Tidying up the workspace. Got rid of some, debts and whatever. Okay. So not debts. That's what we're trying to get rid of here. Just get rid of some tabs. Let's take a look. Let's map your path to zero debt. Start by entering what you owe, then watch as we help you become debt-free faster than you thought possible. No, okay, I'm not even going to get into any of that. So let's go. We're just going to start playing with this. Debt 1. This is going to be a credit card, current balance, 15, 23, 25, whatever. Interest rate is going to be, what, 15.29. Minimum payment is going to be 119, and then the payment date of the month would be the 15th. Awesome. Add debt. Cool. Total debt. All right. Now let's add another debt. We're going to go debt 2. It's going to be a credit card. It's going to be a $2,500 balance. This is going to be interest of, I've got 19.99%, minimum payment of, I don't know, 125. And then we have the due date of the, I don't know, the 5th. Cool. Add debt. Let's add one more. Debt 3. Another credit card. We're going to go current balance of like 645. Interest rate of that 8%, and the minimum payment's going to be 49. Payment due date will make it the 25th. Cool. Add debt. Now, I got that. Oh, here they are down here. So I scroll down. Cool. I can change due dates here. I can edit these. Awesome. By the way, I didn't show you this on the left side. Here's my prompt. Here is the output that we got from Zero Bound here. Cool. Good thing I checked. Error. Make sure you check for errors first. Awesome. So, I need to connect Supabase here. This is really important when you are first setting up your project that connects to Supabase. Supabase is free with paid options like all other tools. Let's go ahead and connect Supabase right here. I don't think I connected Supabase. Okay, cool. Right here is how we connect Supabase. My bad. I don't know why it gave me a button right here. So up here, I'm going to go into right here. I'm going to add connect Supabase. Fantastic. Vibe. We're going to connect a project. That is going to be the organizations, manage connections, Supabase. Okay. I think what's happening here, since I'm not seeing the create a project. Connect a project. We're going to create a project. So these are under, okay, yes, organization. This is me, AI Automation Agency. I'm the organization, create a project. These are my projects. Let's go ahead and create a project. And this is going to be Zero Bound. Oh, you get 2 free projects. You know what? Let's go ahead and upgrade the plan, you guys. I'm not going to lose my content for this. $25 a month. Sure. Yeah, and that's going to solve a bunch of problems moving future anyways. Cool. Let me pause on this. I'm about to pay for something. Cool. So I've paid money to get this content to you guys. And I want the dashboard, to be honest. It's worth the $25. On the free plan, if you don't have data pushed into your database in 7 days, they cycle through every 7 days and they look. If you didn't use it, they pause it. They disconnect it from your app. They put it in kind of an archive mode. You got 90 days. After 90 days, they'll delete all your data because it's security, right? They don't want their databases just floating around, being unused. It's a way for them to get you to upgrade because every 7 days, if you're not using an app that you're just kind of playing with, they force you to go in, restore it. That takes a couple minutes. It's just a pain point that they've learned to just kind of needle you to upgrade you. It's worth the $25 if you're going to do anything for apps for yourself or your clients. So new project. Awesome. We're going to call this a Zero Bound. Cool. Awesome. Database password. I'm going to stop this. Fun fact. So here's what I'm learning. Lovable gives you unlimited projects. That's fine. However, if you're going to hook into Supabase, Supabase gives you 2 projects for free. After that, you got to pay. And then, so I picked the low plan. You saw that as like 20 a month, 25 a month, I think. On top of that, you have to factor in compute size. And so here's what I'm seeing right here. So this is like how much RAM do you need? This is a light app. Like it's not going to take much. I'm going to go on the lowest one. So to process it, to run it, it's basically going to cost, to run this database, it's going to cost me like another $10 a month. So just be aware that once you've hit your 2 project database limit in Supabase, you're going to have to start paying. So look, I'm going to have a debt-free tool available to me that I can potentially monetize later that is going to cost me $35 a month. For me to get out of debt, that's like worth it. So that's just where I'm at. Just be aware. Okay, cool. Create new project, confirm the extra cost, additional cost, 10 per month is whatever. By the way, if this was just for me, I likely wouldn't be. So if this was just for me, I'd still probably do it, but I do have a client on Loveable, and I'm going to just rebuild. I'm going to recoup all of my money from this. Awesome. So let's go ahead and connect that database. We got to go back to zero bound in Loveable. We're going to connect a project here. You can see it's right here already refreshed. Go zero bound. Fantastic. Vibe coding. I hope that saves you some time and some sticker shock and all that. Moving on down the line. Let's go ahead and keep looking here. So unfortunately, I added a bunch of content that didn't save because I didn't have my Supabase connection added. Let's go ahead and run this error correction here. Go try to fix it. Cool. I'll go ahead and pause on this. I am essentially an hour and 10 minutes into this build. I have been pausing. I want to say I started at like 9:40 my time, right around in there. It's like I geared up, fired up Descript, got in Loveable, started prompting. So it'll be like, hey, I need to fix a TypeScript error in the payment. Okay, cool. It's working. And I'm going to say right now for UX, I don't love like how gigantic this is. I'm going to leave it for now. I'll get into styling and crap later. I just want to make sure this thing actually works. And then we'll go from there. But I don't like how gigantic this is. And then all the debts are seen down here. But we'll take a look. Cool. Fix a TypeScript error by creating a handle method. Awesome. I don't know what that means, but let's jump into this. I'm going to go ahead and pause and create 3 new debts. And we'll go from there. One thing I want to point out right away is that I added one. I added the debt. I clicked on refresh and it disappeared. So right now I'm going to say, hey, it doesn't look like our connection to Supabase either is active or you're not passing new debt listings to the Supabase. I added on the debts page, I added a new debt, saw it on the screen, clicked refresh and it disappeared. Please correct and fix this step by step. Thank you. So again, you can see the power of voice in speech text. You can move very fast. If you're not using your voice, you're not being like Tony Stark. Tony Stark talked to Jarvis. He didn't type to Jarvis. Yeah. All right, pause, see what we get here. And, DJX getting it again. I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to get more coffee and be right back. True to vibe code style. So the beautiful thing about all of this, as many of you watching probably have learned or know, is that in addition to getting coffee while AI was building my app for me, I decided to go ahead and marinate my chicken. I come back, it's like, cool, we got to create the table here. I'm going to go ahead and apply the changes. So what it's saying is like, it's created the database. Now we have to apply the changes. So what just happened is I connected Supabase to the project, but it didn't do anything with it. So now it has to go through and actually create the tables and everything that it needs to do to store the data, apply the changes. Cool. Built to Spill. That's who we're listening to right now. You guys into Built to Spill? I might be talking to one of you, 2 of you. I might be talking to 2,000 of you. I don't know. We'll see. Cool. So after a DM or two that I sent on LinkedIn, we got cool. It's connected. Let's go ahead and do a refresh. Saying it's connected. The data should persist. Let's test that theory right now. Cool. Debt 1 will be a credit card, 1,500, sure, 1,400. Interest rate 14%. Minimum payment 1. We'll make it 89, and then due date is the 1st. Sure, add debt. Cool, it's here. Now let me go ahead and refresh on this. And it should be there. If it's not, the headbanging begins. Cool, it's there. Fantastic. We have persistence. Cool, and save. So now we got debts 1, 2, and 3 up here. Awesome. I can, whatever. My OCD is like, I want the first debt listed first. Whatever, it's fine. So I got a total debt of 4K. Cool. Strategy is going to be the snowball method. Extra monthly payment, start date, start now. Cool. Let's go to tracker. Monthly interest. This is rad. Okay, so monthly interest is $228 on a 23% interest rate. So these are the, okay, this is the starting amounts here. Minimum payment 89, so you're paying 16. Cool. Let's go ahead and look at the tracker page. I don't like this setup, honestly. I don't like the interface. Let's go to July. Dashboard. Here we go. The dashboard should be first. Remaining debt, 4K. Total debt paid, 0. Cash recovered, 0. Debt progress. All right. Total debt. Here's what I want. Okay. First up, I want to change I want to be able to move these around. So I'll put them in order. Actually, I'm not going to get into too complicated. I'm just going to actually put the dashboard first. Cool. We're going to redo the order on the display of dashboard to tracker to strategy to debts. Cool, because the debts are the foundation. That's how I'm looking at it. So dashboard to debts. That looks good. And then I'm not seeing up here on the dashboard, I want to see total debt, total monthly payment is here, and then estimated debt-free date based on plan, something like that. So let's go ahead and jam on here. All right, so we are connected to Supabase. We got a dashboard that seems to be functional. First change I want to make here is the order of the tabs on the interface. So if we could please put the dashboard tab first, then the tracker tab next, then the strategy tab, and then the debts tab. Please work on that. Thank you so much. Take 2, didn't record anything that I just said. This is the problem with pausing on really long videos. One thing I did here is that I don't know where you picked up, but I just prompted it to change the order that I just told you. Do this step by step. Don't overwhelm it. So I'm giving it one task. Change the UX, change the interface, change the order right now first. Cool. Once it gets that right, then I'll go and have it and display things up here. If I try to get it to like change the order and add display at top, it's going to likely have a bit of a seizure. Let's see how it does. Cool. I'll reorder. It's working on it. Awesome. Let's see what happens. Hoorah! And on an automatic refresh, here's what we get when we log in. That looks fantastic. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Next up, now, great. That's perfect. Great, that's perfect. Next up, I need to be able to see my payoff date, right? So given the math, given the current setup, assuming no extra debts are paid, no extra cash is paid towards any other debt, whatever, I need to see the total debt where you have it up above the dashboard tabs. That looks great. And then I want to see the payoff date based on what you see in the forecast. I gotta remember to not unpause. Looks great. So it nailed it here. I got it up here. I also have this. It said that the strategy piece needed to be collected. I don't know if you saw that or not in the recording, but it updated the code here so that if a strategy was not selected, it said choose a strategy to like see your payoff date, basically, right? So that's what I did. I chose the snowball method. I clicked save, cool. And then I went into dashboard and it showed it here. And then I start seeing this information right there. Cool. That said, what do I want to do next here? In Loveable, there's a chat feature. So this is where you can actually interact with Loveable without applying any changes to your code. This is great because it has the context of the code without executing it or changing it. So what I'm going to do is use a screenshot here under the tracker. Cool. Under the tracker, I'm going to take a screenshot of this if I can get Screencast-O-Matic to launch. Actually, I just answered my own question by reading. So record payments for June 2025. So it is June. So let's say I go ahead and I made my payment. Maybe just leave this blank. I don't know, like, in terms of the tracker strategy. We're going to go custom date, June 2025. Start now. Let's go start now, current month. Cool. Save strategy. Let's see what that does. Go into tracker. Cool. Let's just play with this. We're going to say this is minimum payment due for debt 3. Ooh, new balance. Interest charge. Interest payment preview. This is awesome. Interest charge 228. Principal amount. Let's go one. Let's make it minimum due and we'll just like go below the minimum and see what that says. Cool. New balance 728. Payment below minimum. Principal payment 4742. This is fucking rad. Okay, let's do 110. New balance 1128. Principal balance. Here's the balance right here. I want to style this so it's bigger, right? I don't want it far right. I want it over here. I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. If I go to 119, new balance 221, 116, I'm not sure. Interest charge 119 plus 228. So 119, 121, 28, 121, 28, 121, 28. New balance 0.001. Perfect. Let's go ahead and save that. Process payments. Cool. Oh, awesome. So it actually showed debt 3 paid out. Let's go into dashboard. Progress 100% paid off. That's rad. Cool. Now I want to move. So remaining debt. Cool. Monthly payment. Cash recovered 110. Total debt paid 1.5%. Looking pretty solid so far. Thank God I'm recording. Let's go to tracker. Let's go to debts. And then debt 3. So this is me playing around. So now I can like mess with these or delete the debts. Cool. Dashboard. Sweet. So cash recovered 110. So now I'm going to chat with it. And I'm going to say, okay, awesome. You can probably see that I just entered a fake entry for a debt paid off. Debt 3, I just paid it off for $119. One thing that I'd like you to please help me understand is how do we then apply that freed up debt 3 monthly amount of 110 a month, I believe is what I had it set for, towards the next bill or towards the next debt. So this is a snowball effect. So how are we tracking, displaying the cumulative effect of paying down debt one, taking that monthly taking that monthly payment and applying it towards the next debt? And again, I'm using the chat. I'm asking it for its thinking, not to execute the code. This is a big ask. This is a big change that I would need to do based on what I'm seeing here. So I'm just asking it to think through things. Sorry about the double, you see my dictation on the screen here. I didn't see any confetti. Debt calculations. Debt calculation function does have logic snowball effect in line 47 where it adds a freed minimum to available extra, but this only used for projections is not real-time payment tracking. Missing connection. There's a disconnect between the payment tracker and the snowball calculation logic. Cool. The problem. When you pay off a debt in the payment tracker, cool, but that freed up doesn't automatically get added to you. The system will guide you on which debt to focus on the freed up payment next. What should happen? Snowball effect. When you paid off the 110, that 110 should automatically be added to your monthly payment strategy extra next month. Cool. The system should visually show you which debt is now the focus. Your projected payoff date should be immediately updated to reflect this cash. The dashboard should show how the cumulative. Okay, I need to enhance the snowball tracking system to properly handle. Update minimum. Cool. I'm going to implement the plan. I'm going to come off of chat. I'm going to go implement the plan. Let's see what happens. Let's see what we get here. Cash recovered 110. Remaining debt. Cool. Total debt paid 1.5%. Why it's only showing 61? 4,919. I'm not sure what that number's doing. Payment, cool. Cash recovered. Let's go to tracker. Snowball strategy. Focus debt. Debt 1 at 14%. Extra payment available. 0. Because debts over here showed a balance of 0, so we're going to put 119. Why is it not 119? Cool. That's a little buggy. And let's see if that saves or not. Looks like... Okay, it did save. Okay, cool. That's why that was lagging, because it was saving on entry, if that makes sense. Cool. Total debt paid. Cool. Debt free September 2026. Cash recovered. We go into tracker. Extra payment amount 0. Cool. Focus debt. This is rad. Use recommended. Fuck yeah. Payment amount, minimum amount, interest rate, interest charge, new balance, principal payment 107, interest charge 228. So we would add, what is it, 119. This is a little confusing to me. We just want to pay it off. The balance, that's the balance due, so I'm just going to pay 119 on it. See what that does. I don't know why it's giving me a new balance here. Maybe because it's assuming interest for that month already. I'm going to go ahead and ask it because that's confusing. Screenshot, drop it in, paste it in, talk to it. Hey, so I'm noticing that this is all looking great, by the way. I'm noticing that in the debt overview, I'm flipping a vest off. I'm noticing in the debt overview that we don't see the payment date. So I'm assuming here that for debt 3, since it is starting right now, that it's assessing interest because the payment is already passed. Is that correct? I want to see the due date for the debt in the tracker window, please. And just make sure... I just want to make sure that this math is correct, because when I put in an entry to pay off the balance of 119, it's still showing me that I'm going to be charged interest of $228. Let's see what that does. For the record, the goal here is in 30 minutes to have this minimum viable and be done. I allocated 2 hours this morning to work on Loveable, build this out, document while I'm going. By the way, if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, and you're building apps, you're creating processes, you have a social channel, Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this: document, don't create. What that means is I'm literally sitting down and showing you how I'm doing this. Hopefully it's of value to you. It's real. I might go through, throw some light edits in this, but honestly, I'm probably just going to document it and push it out there. You can skip around, check it out. Let me know. I hope this is helpful for you. This is sick. I'm loving that. That looks fantastic. Let's see if it works. Get rid of this. Cool. I'm going to come in and put 35 in. Payment below minimum. Principal payment. New balance. Okay, cool. Let's put in 119. Fantastic. That's super fun. Process payments and update strategy. Total minimum pay. Oh, I love this. Total minimum payments 318. Recommended total 318. I think the recommended total is, I'm going to have it explain the recommended total. I don't know what that is. Hey, it's looking really great. Thank you. That update works really well. I can see the due date. I can see that it's going to be paid off if I pay $119. That's awesome. Now, my next question is, in this screenshot, you see a recommended total. What is that? Awesome. Looking great. The updates look perfect. Thank you. Help me understand the recommended total here. What is being recommended, right? Yeah. Help me understand that. That's what I figured. So since you don't have extra monthly payments set in your strategy yet, extra monthly payments set in your strategy yet, or you only have one active debt remaining, so the minimum is recorded. Perfect. So let's go ahead and update our strategy. We're going to go to strategy here. I'm going to add $25 per month. Extra $25 per month can save years of payments, save strategy. Cool. Let's go back into dashboard. Actually, let's go to the tracker. Recommended. Total minimum payments 318. Recommended 343. That's fantastic. That looks really awesome. Go to dashboard. Monthly payment 343. Remaining debt. I don't know why it's showing a numeral there. Let's actually look at this. 114. These numbers look weird. And then, of course, we're going to have to validate the math, right? I'm just getting it to function first, and then we can always have it check logic later. Awesome. Tracker. This is actually, I'm really fucking excited for this. Let's go into debts. Okay, cool. Balance. Debt 2. Why is it? Oh, because I put a percentage rate in here and it's auto calculating the percent. Wow. 14%? We'll leave it alone. I'm going to leave that alone. Okay, go to dashboard. Actually, let's go to tracker. And I'm going to hop over to ChatGPT. Cool. I'm going to kick over to the 04 Mini, Mini High, great at coding and visual reasoning. And what we're going to do is go ahead and hop into here. Say, do a cursor lock. Hey. Okay, so I need you to verify this math for me, please. If I have a interest rate of 23% and a balance of 119, what's the monthly interest? So that's what's really cool about also using voice and speech to text on the Think It's the Pro plan. It nailed it. Perfect. So you can leave the screen, go do something else with the cursor lock, and it will input it into the right field. So that's a great hack. The math looks like it's checking out, so that's fantastic. I got about 25 minutes to go on this. This is looking rad. So let's go ahead and go into dashboard. Debt 3, I got 0 progress. This is all looking payoff 7/1/2026, 6/1/2025. Cool. Let's go ahead and jump in and let's make a payment to the tracker. Recommended amount, recommended total 343. Use recommended. That actually makes a ton of sense. Does it? Does that make a ton of sense? Recommended payment. Why? Payoff balance. 119. Got it. So what it's doing here is that the recommended payment, it's taking that extra $25 that I put in there and it's adding the 119 here for, I'm going to skip this. I can tweak that later, but I dig it. So I'm going to go payoff balance. That looks great. I'm going to go ahead and save this right now. Cool. That's great. And now we have this weird order here that's next. Cool. Recommended payment. Wow. This is rad. So monthly interest, $16.42. Recommended payment, $224. Use recommended. Payoff. Bro, so I just took the snowball effect and it automatically knows to push this one. I think this is good to go, honestly. The way it is. It's not perfect right now because it's saying, hey, it's due this month. I just paid off 119. So it's not accounting for the fact that I just paid an extra. I paid that bill and that those funds aren't actually available. Let's see what it says about that. Hey, this is really looking killer and awesome. So here's one thing that I've noticed is that the recommended payment is an awesome feature. I love it, and I love the payoff balance. I love it. Here's the kicker though, is that so I just mimicked paying off my debt of $119, okay, for the month of June. The issue is that now I'm looking at debt 1 and it's giving a recommended amount for $224, which is great. It's taking the minimum payment. Let's add this up. So we got the minimum payment of 89 plus 110. So that's 199. I don't know where it's coming from, the 224. Oh, plus the 25. It's 224. That extra 25 a month. Shit, yeah. That is rad. Okay, so awesome. The numbers add up. Along with the extra amount we're going to pay every month, and it's giving a recommended payment. That's fantastic. The issue is it's recommending that for this month, not next month, because this month I just paid off. That's money out for me, right? So I just paid money out. I don't have that to liquidate. So that needs to be calculated moving into like the next month. So in June, I paid off my $119 debt balance. Great. That then frees up $110 a month to pay towards my July bill. Okay, whatever priority one that would be. Will you please take a look at the calculations you have and and create a plan for how to correct this? Cool. And again, I did it in a chat because I want to see its thinking first, and then it'll execute the plan if I tell it to. And then the next thing, honestly, after this is I'm going to move the order around of these things so that the focus debt is always up top. And then we'll probably call it a video. Cool. You can see right here, it created the plan, add payment tracking by month, modify strategy updates, update recommendation logic. Cool. add the month context, enhance payment processing. Cool, let's go ahead and implement the plan. I can absolutely see this being a absolute gamification game changer for me. The only thing I'm not seeing right now is I'm not seeing confetti on the screen when I make a payment or clear a debt or something like that. Again, I can add that later. This alone for me, looking at numbers is huge. By the way, check this out. If I want, do I want to show you this right now? Nah, I'll show that after. That'll be another video. I'm going to link to my Podium dashboard after this video. I built a KPI tracker dashboard that has absolutely changed how I prospect on LinkedIn and how I view prospecting and the amount of money that's going to be coming into my business as a result. It's insane. All right, see what we got here. Hopefully we didn't break anything. Total debt paid $254 of $40.19 across 2 accounts. 208 minimum plus 135 extra. Awesome per month from paid off debts. Fuck yes, this is awesome. Okay, so I don't know what this is, so let's just make a note to come back to this. I got 15-ish minutes. By the way, we got build unsuccessful. So we got refactor, and what that does is it breaks the files into shorter chunks, so it's easy for it to go back and revisit. I'm going to go ahead and run this error. Try to fix. And I like this new button. That's new. I don't remember it being here before. By the way, try to fix errors do not count towards message limits in Loveable. So that's great. I love that I get to build this for free today. This is awesome. And I get to create content for you guys. Hopefully you find the content valuable. I'm going to pause. Cool. So I found an error here. Add table. Cool. Apply changes. The other thing I realized is we haven't checked the avalanche strategy yet. I don't know. Maybe that'll work. Maybe it won't. We'll see. Still, this is insane. 2 hours in. I don't know. I'm not a developer, but I'm going to guess something like this would be 20K minimum, 20K minimum in like 3 months, 2 months, with lots of headache back and forth with a traditional development situation. I don't know. If you're a developer, how long would this take you to actually develop this? What would you charge for it, and how long would it take? Cool. Let's take a look. This is wrong. Let's check our functionality first. We're looking at tracker. Cool. Go into our due 15th, do the first. What are we doing? What am I checking? Got it. Recommended payment. 224. It's still not seeing. That's what we were fixing. So what we're fixing right now is this idea that it's the recommended payment is right here. We're in the month of June. Let's go into July. Let's go into June. I don't see it changing at all. I'm not seeing anything changing here. Let's go into June. Okay. Let's go into tracker. Cool. Hey, I'm still noticing that the recommended payment for the month of June is still recommending taking the zero balance amount of the monthly payment of 110 from the previous debt that was just cleared to the current month. Can you please carefully correct this? Work it step by step. Work this step by step. You'll see Loveable prompting the system to do that. It'll command it to work it step by step. I don't know. I think they see something like a 6 to 8% increase in efficiency and accuracy, rather, when you use that command to work it step by step. Correct. So let me carefully review the project. Okay. Cool. Let's see what happens next here. Pause. By the way, I do want to show you that at any point, if it gets really ugly, you can always restore from the last piece. Now, sometimes, full disclosure, I've found that it actually doesn't fix any sort of Supabase connectivity issues or Supabase database issues. Like I've run into that where it will actually restore the kind of front end and things like that. But like the database can sometimes be an issue. So just be aware of that. Okay, so you can always restore. I have always been able to reconnect to my database and get it working. Sometimes there's some head banging involved, head banging against the wall involved, but I've always gotten it to work. All right, let's jump in back into this. So, monthly payment tracker. So we have this screenshot where it's like extra payment available. So that is incorrect. And then down here is still showing this is incorrect. Okay, in the screenshots, you can see that the snowball strategy is active and it's showing an extra payment available for June. However, that is not the case because in the month of June, I logged the payment for the balance of debt 3. Can you see debt 3? And are you tracking when the payment is actually entered? I'm not really seeing a log anywhere. Except for like in debts, I do see in debts. I'm not seeing like payment logging happening anywhere. Are you just updating the your debts section under the debts tab as the payment is made? That to me seems kind of flawed because we're not logging a date at that point, right? So like a date paid for each transaction under the tracker. So maybe the way to avoid this is to look at when is the payment made? When was the last payment made? Was the last payment made this month that we're tracking? And is that money available to apply to this current month for the next debt? So for example, let's say I have $100 balance. Let's use this as an example. If I had a balance of, for easy math, $50 and my monthly payment is normally $100, well, that immediately gives me $50 to pay towards, number one, paying off the current balance for that debt, plus gives me $50 to apply towards this month's debt. Cool. If I pay on that debt $100 against the $100 balance, awesome. That frees up $100 for the next month, not this month. That's how we need to be looking at this. Cool. See what happens. Hopefully I didn't just confuse it nightmarishly. I don't think I did though. We need to actually log payment records, use those records to determine, and only make free payments after. Perfect. So that's good. Awesome. Let's do a refresh on this. Cool. This is still wrong. I'm not sure what's there. 2.54 of that. That ain't right. But you get the idea. We'll figure that out. We're going to go into tracker. Cool. 224 recommended payment. Extra payment available for June 135. Dropping that in. Dropping that in. Let's take a look at the debts here. Okay. Is this messing you up because I have a zero balance for debt 3 and you know, we're just not seeing it? Like, and I recorded this before the actual debt due date or something? I'm not sure. Like, where is it being stuck? How can I support you? Okay, it's 12:02. I'm going to give this a little bit more time and we'll see what kind of progress we can make. I need to shift gears though, but get the idea. I'm very, very close to this. All right, so it says adds logic, tracking, whatever. Let's go ahead. I'm going to just change this to, this was 119. Oops, 119. Awesome. That's done. Let's go back to the dashboard. Negative 2.9%. I'm not sure what's going on here. Let's go into tracker. Dashboard. I'm actually gonna take all of this so it has bigger context. Give it a screenshot with an arrow. Arrow, please. Would be awesome. Thank you. Getting some lag. Done. Okay, you can see here that I just added 3 more screenshots. The first one is of the dashboard. You can see that the total debt paid is minus 2.9%. So you're seeing here like 116.46 was from a previous entry. I think that was the first. Okay, I gave you 3 screenshots. The first one of the dashboard, you can see that it's actually reflecting the first test payment that I added to the database, I think is what's going on there. Or maybe that's, I don't know, that's a phantom number. Search and scour for the number -1, the payment of 116.46. You can see it in the screenshot. Cool. And then in the debts, I went ahead and added $119 back to the balance for debt 3, just so we can check things. I hopefully didn't screw you up there. And then next up, we have the screenshot of the tracker showing again that 135 is still available. Would it be helpful for you if I deleted debt 3 altogether and we start fresh? Let me know what you need from me. I love how it hallucinates. You will now see that it's perfect. It is not perfect. I can tell you by looking at it right here. So I'm going to just have it find this dollar amount in the database somewhere. It is a challenge using voice and speech to text while recording a live video, talking to you guys and toggling in between. Like, it is not easy. So please hunt down the number, the amount of 116.46 in Supabase. Where is it? Why is it being shown in total debt paid? That's where the number is screwed up. So it's not necessarily its logic that it's using over to calculate this stuff. It's that it's probably correct. It's just there's this number that shouldn't be there somewhere. Okay. I can see the issue. Looking at the screenshot, there's a payment of 1 and it's showing up in the debt total that paid calculation on the dashboard. Let me check the dashboard component. Cool. Apply changes. Hopefully this doesn't break everything. I'm just going to run with it. We'll see what happens next. 12. I'm going 17 more minutes and then I'm going to be done. But you get the idea. If I'm not done with a MVP, with this all working, this is actually pretty advanced for an MVP. If this isn't done and working by the time I'm done, I'll do a follow-up video showing like big picture what I did to correct it and fix it. But I'm confident in 15 minutes of wrangling, I can get this working and then I'll be done. That'll be awesome. It looks like it found it. We shall see. So now we're going to go into implement the plan. I hope this is helpful for you because what I did here was I tracked down what is the number that's causing the problem, and I had a very specific reference point for it to hunt down. And then it said, cool, let me add some logging. Then I can see where the number's coming from. So then I did a refresh and I said, hey, cool, like I did a refresh, what do you need? And it's great. Now that you refreshed it, I can see this number. Here's why that number is happening. And so that's what's happening. Boy, I get a little nervous when it says I've completely rewritten the dashboard logic. Your debt has grown by 116 due to interest accumulation. Consider increasing your payments. Okay. All right. Interest alert. Debt 2. I'm not sure I'm liking this. So let's go into the tracker. Go into debts. 119, cool. Okay, so I'm going to take a screenshot of this. All right, this doesn't seem right to me because you're assuming that the interest is already accumulated. But if it's like June 14th and my payment isn't due until June 25th, I wouldn't be charged interest on that. So I think what we got to do is I love the interest accumulated value, but I don't think it's accurate unless I don't make the payment or what. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, this doesn't seem right to me because it's assuming that every bill I have has already accrued interest for that month. Shouldn't it start at today's date, like whatever today's date is? Is there a payment for the bill that I put into? Is there a payment paid date compared against the payment due date? Based on that, was there interest assessed? To me, that seems like the logical plan. And I also think we need to add, so in the tracker page, there needs to be a log of the actual payments that were made so that we can see the history of the payments, the payment history. Does this plan make sense to you? Does it make sense as to why this is concerning to me right now? Hopefully I did not jinx myself by saying, I'm confident I can get it by 12:30. Let's see. Still, if I can sit down here in 2.5 hours, invest in a system that's going to help me really jam and get free on this, awesome. Could I do this in a spreadsheet? Sure. Am I going to be nearly as good as this? No. Am I going to want to use it? No. I can tell you, I've done a million spreadsheets. These little dashboards, these little apps, they work great. They were great for me personally. So let's see what happens next here. Cool. While it's working here, the thing about this that I've learned is that you don't know what you don't know until you just start building. And you don't know what corners you can't see around until you get to that corner. And so, like, prompting in the beginning is really important. It's not going to get you perfect, but think about, like, you see all the iteration that I'm doing going back and forth. Imagine, like, doing that from a sloppy prompt up front, like how much back and forth I saved using ChatGPT in the very beginning. Let's see if we get a broken system or if it actually worked. Wow, it didn't break. Fantastic. It refreshed. Let's see what we get here. Error. I knew it. Try to fix. When it does big changes like that, expect an error for sure. Cool. Yeah, let's take a look. This is looking correct. Not sure about this. Probably because it's pulling from debts. Go to tracker. Extra payment available for June 2025. Focus debt 3, 119. Okay, so it added a payment date. Due 9th of each month. Cool. Due date for this month. 6/8/2025. Cool. Still not. I'm still seeing available for the month of June, $135. It's not accurate. Because if you look at debts, no debts have been paid right now. So why is it showing an extra available for June 2025? Can you check your database for the amount paid of 110? Right? Because I paid. Why is it showing an extra payment available for June 2025 of $135? Where is that number being taken from and how is it being calculated? Where is it living in the database? I did just get put on a pause because of the load a few minutes ago. So made shake, had lunch, came back. We'll go, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes here and I'm going to call it. See how far we get. I was put on a pause because it's free today, so it made me wait a minute. So I went and had lunch. So I just took a screenshot. It's still showing the 135 extra. Drop that in there. I'm gonna go into debts dashboard. Here's what's happening. Look, here's what's happening. Somewhere in the database, you're seeing $110 payment that I made somewhere to pay off a balance or something. I don't know. But like I don't know where this $135 is coming from. I know it's $25 for the extra amount, but it's just not right yet. So let's dig into it. Thanks. This is where the banging your head against the wall process starts to get a little painful. Won't lie. But I found that with persistence, with prompting, with screenshots, with iteration, and a whole lot of patience and grit, you can get it done. So some of you might be like, why don't you just like build a spreadsheet? It's like, I've done that. They don't work for me. So this is my way of trying to get it to where it's something I'm going to use every day and gamify my path to cash freedom. So it added some logging. I gave it a refresh, told it I refreshed, and it's going to track it down. Oh. 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 Oh my God. So this whole time, I'm like, I only put $25 in here, and like it auto added it to the balance. So now I told it, you wrote the code so that when a payoff amount happened, it automatically adds that to the extra payout amount for the snowball effect. That's great. The problem is that I think we solved the problem. I will let you know. Cool. So I've updated here to, I've updated the extra payment amount to that piece there. Go to the dashboard, plus an extra 25. Awesome. 0 debt paid down. Looks great. Coming along right now. Let's go to debts. Under debts, we're going to go under 2,500, 3,500. This is going to be 1,400. Cool. Awesome. That should be done. Let's go back into, yep, that looks correct. Very good. Go to dashboard, 4,019. That all looks correct. Awesome. Let's go into tracker. Cool. Recommend payment, 135. Okay, so there's the last thing we're going to do. Okay, the last piece of logic we need to work on here, I think, is that the recommended payment can't be more than the total debt. So take a look at this screenshot here. You can see for debt 3, the debt total is 119 and the recommended payment is 135. So the recommended payment should never exceed the minimum payment. So yeah, I don't know. Like, if I don't want to really complicate things or break your brain, but if we can at least do the recommended payment of the minimum, and then if there's extra left over to make a comment to apply the balance of that towards the next debt. I don't know. Don't overcomplicate it, but at a minimum, the recommended payment should not exceed the debt balance. I may have just killed it. We'll see. All that time, all I had to do is check the extra payment amount here. The rest of this is looking good. Let's see what happens. I think it's so awesome that I can do this for free today. And, you know, I don't know. It's so cool that I can build this today. And honestly, sometimes I wonder, like, is all the head pounding really worth, like, the relief of, like, oh, of course it was just that simple thing. And then you move forward? I don't know. What do you think? Let's see. Okay, you're absolutely right. The recommended payment should never exceed the current balance. Let's take a look here. Go to tracker. Recommended payment. Awesome. 119. Sweet. Recommended payment. 119. Just leave it at that. Awesome. Okay, awesome. That's updated. I don't want to get too meta here, but look, it's looking like that is fixed. Now it's coming down to, okay, so if my minimum payment is 110 for debt 3, The balance is 119. The recommended payment is 119. That's great. But I want to account for the $16 that remains, right, to be paid towards a debt because I've set my extra payment for $25, right? So how can we give me a plan for how we can accommodate for this so that every single month we are optimizing and maximizing every dollar paid towards debt? See what happens there. The 3 focus, okay. Cool. Let's try it. We're going to implement the plan, see what happens. And if I murdered it, then I can always roll it back. It's okay. I won't murder it, though. It'll be okay. Ooh, and I just realized here we have a payment history going on right here. That's awesome. What do we got here? Should probably refactor. Sick. So now we have this. Smart payment distribution, 100% utilized. Debt 3 plus 9. Debt 1 plus 16. Let's see what this looks like. Debt 3. Yep. Perfect. Awesome. Dude, that's so cool. And then down here it's showing plus 16 extra. Recommended payment 89 plus 16. Dude. All right, let's give this a try. So I'm going to go, right, use recommended. Cool. That's fantastic. We're going to pick today's date. It's got to be before that date, so we'll go here. Cool. Interest charge 0, late fee 0, principal payment 119. Awesome. Cool. This debt will be paid off, and then this debt will be paid off. 110 per month will be available starting next month.